I hope this is a recent one.
Hi, everyone. My name is Madeleine Holly-Rosing. I am the writer creator of the steampunk supernatural prose and graphic novel series, Boston Metaphysical Society. We're currently in production for our first audio drama called The Ghost Ship.
Hi, I'm Barbra Dillon, editor-in-chief of Fanbase Press.
What is it like? It's kind of an interesting ebb and flow. I have to say, one of my favorite things about selling out a convention is actually not selling at a convention, but getting there, particularly at San Diego Comic-Con, getting there early before anyone else is there. And half the place is dark. ATF is running around with the bomb dogs. And that's the reality of it. You guys never see that as regular civilians. You never see all the stuff that happens in the background. But it's really quiet and has a very interesting mood. It's like the quiet before the storm. And you can take time to talk to the other vendors. And it's just sort of relaxing before you have to, gear up to start selling. And to anyone who's ever seen me sell at a convention, I never sit down, and I don't think Barbara does either. You never do that, and you're constantly interacting with people as they walk by. For those who are new to selling, you're going to have to learn your own vibe and learn your own, what works for you. Some, prefer a soft sell, some prefer a harder sell. I'm kind of like in between, but whatever you do, it has to come off as sincere and really as part of your own personality and not something that you're trying to force. But I could go on and on about having marketing materials on your table and a mailing list, and make sure you have your 30-second pitch ready to go. It just depends on how far you want me to get into this.
I would echo everything that Madeleine said. This is something that I like to share when we do panels. And Madeleine, I think you and I have been on a panel in the time before at conventions when I had shared this as well. But for me, it's really important for folks to know, especially if it's their first time going to exhibit at a convention. It can, especially for folks who maybe have anxiety or deal with mental health issues, it can be a little overwhelming. As Madeleine said, you really do have to gear up. There's a process that some creators have to do to get ready for it, and that's I'm no stranger to that. I have a bit of social anxiety, especially in situations like, as Madeleine said, San Diego Comic-Con, which is thousands and thousands of people. But any time that you are really put on the spot and you're going to be the focus of someone's attention, whether it be for 30 seconds, whether it be for 10 minutes, that can be, a little nerve-wracking and a little scary. So I just want folks to know that that's completely normal, that there are folks I've been doing this for 11 years now, and every convention that I go to, I still have to gear myself up and get myself ready to be on at the convention table. And that's totally okay. It is a challenging experience. It's a lot to put yourself out there, and especially because a lot of creators, they're creators because they love being behind the scenes. They love writing by themselves. They love illustrating by themselves. So social skills and being in front of someone and having the marketing and business and sales skills to be able to sell your product to someone is a whole different skill set. So I would just say, be patient with yourself, give yourself some time, interact with, when we go back to in-person conventions, interact with other creators at their tables, see what they do. And just like Madeleine said, you're going to meet tons of different creators that all have different approaches to selling, from the hard sell to softer sells. And it's important to find what works best for you and what you are most comfortable with.
I'm trying to see everything here on my little laptop. So I've seen your setup so many times that you don't really think about it too much.
Likewise, likewise. Many years of Boston Metaphysical.
Oh, I know. What was the tablet you have up front on
the newsletter sign up?
Oh, is that the newsletter sign up?
Yeah.
Okay, I love that. I love that. I always do like the paper one and have to type it in later, and
we did that for many years.
And I've never been able to quite find the software that I liked for that I could then, download into something. So that is brilliant. We need to talk about that later, I think.
Okay.
And you've got so many books, which is great.
We have new shelves too. They're not.
You have new shelves? You have new shelves. So we're just doing positive, no constructive criticism.
Wait on me, Madeleine.
And this is all of this is personal preference. I tend to not put the prices on my books, because it can scare people away. I want them to come and pick it up and look at it and become invested in it before they ask the price. And to me it also obscures the view of all the wonderful art and titles you have there. But like I said, so much of this is personal preference and what works for you as a vendor. So take anything I say with a complete grain of salt.
Absolutely.
But otherwise, it's a very effective setup because you have both lateral and horizontal. So people who are of all sizes and ages and disabilities can come and touch and see. And so, yeah, no, it's great. And you've got all that great marketing material. I see the bookmarks. Of course, being me, I would be like throwing that in somebody's face. Because I'm going like, here, have a bookmark. And to drag their ass over and start a conversation. But yeah, I mean, obviously it works. You guys do very well. So yeah, like I said, take everything I say with a grain of salt. That's it.
All right, I'm going to jump in. I love Madeleine's booth. I always have. It all, like all creators, I will say, it constantly evolves, right, Madeleine? You're constantly
it's always
changing and updating. Yeah. Which is, I mean, I think that's important to note as well, that it doesn't have to be a static setup, that, you can, we every year annually look at our booth. We set it up at home and say, like, what do we like? What don't we like? What has worked? And I think Madeleine probably does the same thing with David. Yeah.
We're going to be doing that in like 2 weeks.
Exactly.
Setting it up. Yeah.
I love the banners that Madeleine has because I think that first draws your eye, and then it visually your eyes scan down to the booth. And like Madeleine said with ours, I like that Madeleine has various heights of different material. But you can very clearly see everything and you feel as though, I think that piles are a good thing. So when you have multiple of the same book that you can see, it doesn't force customers to feel like they're taking the last one, which psychologically, for some reason, customers don't like to take the last book. So I think it's great that you're seeing multiple books there. She clearly has the book open because she's inviting you to come and check out the gorgeous artwork and to dive into the comic and check it out for yourselves. She's got over on the right-hand side her amazing Kickstarter book, award-winning, if I'm not mistaken.
Actually, the novel is award-winning. The Kickstarter book just sells because it's practical and efficient. Yeah.
Very good. It's a very good book. And then she has pins. So what that tells me as well, having done this myself, is that there are various price points to Madeleine's content. So it's not all going to be the same cost for everything on the table. The pins might be a little less expensive if I don't maybe have enough cash or finances that day, or I can pick up the Kickstarter book, which is prose, or I can pick up a comic, which is artwork and probably is a little bit more than the prose book. So I love everything. I think it's great. And I've seen it evolve and change, and I love it every time.
Yeah,
So, Madeline,
we've got a new banner. I don't know, you probably saw it on Instagram. I don't know, but yeah, we've got the new banner from the new cover. So yeah, that, and we have new pins. So yes, it will be new books. More work, more work.
always. So thank you for having me. It's always a great time. Madeline, always wonderful to see you. And if anyone is interested in Fanbase Press or our titles, you can find us at fanbasepress.com. We're on all of the social medias. And you can also follow along with our current comic book series, Nuclear Power, which is an alternate history tale of the Cuban Missile Crisis. If you're a fan of The Handmaid's Tale or the X-Men, it is a wonderful marriage of the two. You can learn more at fanbasepress.com or nuclearpowercomic.com.
We had just finished a Kickstarter earlier this year, which we hope to be fulfilling in September, for the Book of Demons. If you want to check out the first issue, you can do so at SourcePoint Press or at my website at bostonmetaphysicalsociety.com. And we will be running another Kickstarter in October, as I mentioned before, for our first audio drama called The Ghost Ship. And it will be a very traditional audio drama with music and sound effects and the whole 9 yards. So and we got some fabulous actors. So I'm looking forward to that.